Okay, so the next step I want you to do is we're going to name our layer. We are going to import a Dunny outline and trace it because I want you all to start off with the exact same outline. And then we're going to trace it, and I'm going to show you exactly how I want you to trace it, and we're going to fill it in whatever color that your main character is. So if your character has regular skin color, then put whatever skin color it has. If your character is like furry and has like Cookie Monster color fur, then you're going to fill it in Cookie Monster fur color. You're going to put whatever color fill in that the skin is or the fur is or whatever. But the first thing you're going to do when I give you your control is we're going to name this first layer. And to name it, you just double click it. Okay, so this one I want you to name Trace. And I'll let you do this when I'm done talking. So you're going to name it Trace. And after you name it, you can just click off of it. Then I have the outline out on my shared drive. So you're going to import the outline out here. So you're going to go to File. Then you're going to go down about halfway to Import. Import to Stage, because we're going to put a picture on the stage. And it takes a minute because Flash is slow. And what you're going to look for is my shared drive. So you're going to go down here. The Pred is shared, students, Hartman, links and videos. This is web design. You're going to go to Dunny, and it's the only thing in that folder, the Dunny outline, okay? And it's just a real basic outline, and it's kind of small. So I would make it bigger because it's easier to draw when it's a little bit bigger. So I would make it as big on the stage as you can or it doesn't look stupid. So to make this guy bigger, you're going to use this tool. That's the third one down. It's called the free transform tool. And when you click it, it gets squares around it. And then I would pull it from the edge until you get it a little bit bigger. And then you can move it wherever you want. I kind of like it a little off-centered like that. If you want him like really big, that's fine. And if part of the picture hangs off the edge, that's also fine, as long as your Dunny doesn't. Get him where you want him. If you want like a skinny Dunny, you can make it skinnier or you can make it fatter. It's just however you want it. But once you get your Dunny where you want it, you click off and then you lock that layer and you never touch that layer again. You don't trace on that layer. You don't do anything to that layer again until we're done with tracing and you delete that layer. Okay? Because we're going to trace on a brand new layer. Everything you do is on a new layer. So I'm going to make a new layer, which is this little double, it's like a piece of paper folded over. And my new layer is going to be called Body. And then I'm going to start tracing him. And I'm just going to do a plain one just to show you. So I'm going to do a black outline on my Dunny. And this is going to look stupid. Just watch how I do it. You're going to think I'm really stupid the way I'm going to trace this. But it's going to look better in the end. So I'm going to get the black outline. And then I'm going to come get the line tool. Okay? And I'm going to trace my Dunny with the line tool. Instead of doing it freehand, because most of you are not good enough with a mouse yet to do stuff freehand, you're going to do it with the line tool, and then you're going to come up and get this black selection tool, and you're going to bend the lines so they're perfect, okay? And you can bend the lines out with your arrow, okay? When you get near the lines, let me show you on this one. So I'm going to go to about here, across, down, and then here. And you have to touch your lines together or it won't fill later. Then I get the black line tool. And you can't see on your screen because your screen is just a red dot. But if you look up on my big screens, my arrow has a square by it until I get next to these lines. And when I get next to the lines, my square turns into a little half circle. Okay, and then I can bend the lines out a little, and you have to look at my big screen or you can't see it. So when I get near the line, my square turns into half circles, and then I can bend them. Okay, with the body, I'm going to do the same thing. So I'm going to start like here, I'm going to go across here, and I would zoom in on this. You can zoom in right here because it's easier to draw when it's not so tiny. Okay, and I'm going to go across right here because I'm going to do circles for the head, so it really doesn't matter. I'm going to come back, and if you look at my screen, you can see it right now. I'm going to get near this line, and it's going to turn to a half circle, and then I can grab these down, and I can make these lines, and I can pull it so it's fatter down here. I can pull it so it's fatter right there. I can make these lines curved, and then this one I'm just going to go like that because I'm going to put a circle on this. Okay, so then I can do this. And this little extra line right here, do you see how that's sticking out stupid? I can get that black arrow and just click that one little line and hit delete, and it'll delete that little extra. And there's an extra tiny little dot right there too that I can delete. Okay, same with the arms. Let me do one of the arms real quick. The arms are a little weird because you're going to go across and down and then back to about right here. And I'm going to bend them too. Okay. Now, if you have gloves or something on it, do the arms like this first, and then you can add gloves later. And then this, I would take points off because you see how it's not very smooth right there? If you want to delete and start over, you can delete the lines and start over. I would not use the eraser. The eraser tool will mess you up. Instead, just click the line. And if it's not exactly perfect, it's better if it's smoother than if it's exactly perfect, okay? Only one more thing I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you how to do the circles. So this is a circle. And I have people all the time that come over here and they try to do it with a line tool like this. And it's like a cactus-y circle, like a bunch of lines all together. That looks horrible. Don't do your circle like that. If you're going to do something that's a circle, first pick what color your guy's going to be. So let me pretend like he's Shrek again. So I'm going to pick like the yucky green color. Okay, so a black out. I would use a black outline on everything and then a greenish Shreky. That's not really Shrek. Shrek's more pukey color than that. Okay, like that one. And then I'm going to come up here and right here by this square, if I hit this little triangle under that square, I get more of these tools. Okay, and I'm going to use the oval tool. And I'm going to put a circle right here, and I'm pretty good at drawing my circle the right size, but if you're not, start with your circle out here, okay? Get it about the right size, and then you get your black tool, and you highlight your circle, and ooh, it's pretty dang good, okay? If it's not perfect, though, make sure it's selected, and come and get this one. And you can, as long as you don't unclick it, you can fix it just a little bit. And then you can make it perfect. And he also had that like face one on there, like an ovally one. Okay. And then you can put the ovally one on there. Now, if I screw this up, watch what happens. If I click off of this and let's pretend like I put it right here on accident and that's not where I wanted it. And I've already clicked off of it. And then I try to move it. Watch what happens. It like cuts out stuff. And then people do this and then they're like, oh crap. And then they're like, oh no. And then they do that and they're like, oh. And then it's taken off their background. This is what Flash does. And they're like, oh, I just messed up everything. If you mess up something in Flash, hit Control Z and it'll let you go back until it was right. And then as long as it's selected, I can move it and get it where I want it. And then it was right, okay? And then I'm going to go and I'm going to save this. And I'm going to save it really quick. File, save as. I'm going to go find my Hartman folder. Hartman, I passed it. Hartman Web Design. And you're going to name it Dunny, your first name, last name. and put it in your Dunny folder. And I'm going to put extra on mine.